Welcome back to the BuildFlow series, where we are building together a professional SaaS engineering document management system using ASP.NET Core, domain-driven design, and clean architecture step by step. Before writing any code, there is one important question we need to answer. What is the first decision we should make? In episode 1, we understood why we choose a modular monolith architecture combined with the domain-driven design. In episode 2, we built the shared kernel, which represents the heart of our domain. Now, we continue building BuildFlow layer by layering until we reach a complete professional system. We are not here just to watch, we are here to build with me. And today, we are going to create the practical foundation of our solution. Let me ask you a question. If you were in my position right now, would you immediately create an ASP.NET Core project? Imagine that our system will contain 10 different projects. How would Visual Studio know that all these projects belong to the same application? How would the .NET tools understand what connect them together? This is where the solution file comes in, the .sln file. Think of it as a container or gathering point. It doesn't not contain the actual code. Instead, it tells Visual Studio where each project exists and how these projects are organized together. Because it is only a container, we will start with an empty solution and then edit project one by one. But why? Imagine you added 10 projects at the same time and suddenly an error appears. Where would you start debugging? Instead, added one project at a time. Every step becomes isolated, understandable, and easy to review. This is difference between a small project and a professional system where an entire team can work with the confidence. Now, let me explain the next important problem. Imagine you built the project using a .NET 8. A teammate opened it on another computer running .NET 9. What happens? The application may behave differently. You may start seeing warnings. It works on your machine, but it fails on theirs. Then comes the famous sentence, it works on my machine. So, how can you make sure everyone uses exactly the same .NET SDK version? The answer is a global.json. Think of it as a contract. For example, my SDK version is 8.0.204. This file tells every developer to build the project using the exact SDK version. Now let's look at roll forward. We selected latest feature. If this exact SDK version is not available, Net can use the latest feature release within the same SDK family. A controlled flexibility. Now let's look at allow pre-release. Its value is false. We want stability, not preview SDKs. Let's verify it. Run .NET version. The result should match our SDK version exactly. The tools read the contract and followed it. If you see something like x.9.0, global.json was probably not found. Most likely, we are running the command from the warning folder. The correct result should be 8.0.204. The concept has a professional name, Reproducible Build. A reproducible build means the same project produced the same result. On every developer's computer, we will see this concept in a professional software project. Understand what it means. Don't just memorize the name. Now, let's build the rest of our project structure. Create an empty solution. .NET new sln space -- name BuildFlow. Next, create two folders, src, tests, run make directory src make directory tests. Imagine mixing your source code and your tests in the same place. It quickly becomes messy. Separate them from the very beginning. That is a professional practice. Now let's verify the result. Run dir or list. We should now see global.json, BuildFlow.sln, src tests. One more important tip. The solution folder can simply be named BuildFlow, but your project will use dots. Example, BuildFlow.sharedKernel. Avoid using hyphens in project names. C# namespace cannot use hyphens. Before starting any enterprise project, install the correct .NET SDK and look at with global.json. This applies to every .NET project, not only enterprise system. Interview question. How do you ensure that every team member use the same .NET SDK version? Answer. Use global.json to look the SDK version for the entire team. This guarantees the same build on every computer. It achieves reproducible build. Notice something important. We haven't written a single line of C# code yet. Yet you have already made 3 important architecture decisions. Decision 1, an empty solution as the project container. Decision 2, use a global.json to keep everyone on the same SDK version. Decision 3, separate src from tests from day 1. The key takeaway, every decision started with a problem and a question, not with a comment to memorize. That is the BuildFlow way. We learn not only what to build, but why we build it. Now we have the overall structure, but our solution is still empty. In the next episode, we will add our first real project to the solution. We will answer another important question. How do you add a project and control their dependency? If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. See you in the next episode.